So welcome back to our earlier lecture, renewable and non-renewable resources. We were discussing about the food resources, and we had discussed about the problems. There are many problems, and because of issues, there are undernutritious people, malnutritious, and overnutritious. So, so what we can do for the improvement of the food resources? So there is a rapid increase in the population, so it is needed to introduce production efficiency of crop and livestock because no major scope of increasing area of land under cultivation. Growing population, we need home, we need urbanization, so there's no major scope of increasing area of land. So whatever we have to grow in that land only. Increase in milk production, that is white revolution. So these are the two issues we have to deal to improve the food resources. Increase in food production without degradation of our environment and disturbing the ecological balance, that is sustainable practices, means the agriculture as well as the environment both can grow well. So that is called sustainable practices. Sustainable practices are those which involve the use of natural resources in such a manner that their availability is ensured for the future generation too. Food security is vital for energy citizen of a country. This will ensure that there will be a reduction in the number of undernourished population and will lead to a steady quality of life throughout future generation. The major groups of activities for improving crop yield can be classified as crop variety improvement. We can improve the varieties of the crop. Improvement in crop variety can be achieved on finding a crop variety that can give a food yield. Variety or a strain of crops can be selected by breeding for various useful characteristics such as disease resistance, responses to fertilizer, products, quality and high yield. So this all can be done by doing good and good research. One way of incorporating desirable characters into crop variety is by hybridization. If you want to incorporate desirable characters, we have to go for the hybridization. Some of the factors of which variety improvement is done are high yield, improved quality, biotic and abiotic resistance, changes in maturity duration, wider adaptability, desirable agronomic characteristic. The crop production improvement, nutrient management. We can improve the crop production by improving the nutrient management. Plant require nutrients for their growth. Deficiency of nutrient is in affect physiological process, reproduction, growth and susceptibility to disease. To increase yield, soil can be enriched by supplying nutrients in the form of manure and fertilizers. So usually we should prefer the biological fuel, gobar, cattle dung, all are good biological fuel instead of using the chemicals for the improvement of the quality and improvement of the yield. So preferred organic farming is nowadays is in. Apart from the nutrient management, irrigation is again to improve the production. Most agriculture in India is rain fed, so that success of crop in most area is dependent on timely monsoon and sufficient rainfall. Therefore, many measures are required to bring more and more agricultural land under irrigation. It can be met through wells, canals, river, lift system, tanks, etc. And crop failure can be avoided. So we do not have to be totally dependent on the rainwater because of the climate change there are uncertain rains and there are droughts, there are uncertain rains, floods. So these are the issues we have to deal with. So if there is the agriculture fields are the rain field, then we should manage the canals, river, lift system, tanks, so that we can be the crop failure can be avoided. Cropping pattern, that is again one of the important. Nowadays, the cropping pattern is not being followed religiously as we used to do earlier. So there are three different kind of cropping pattern: mixed cropping pattern, intercropping pattern, and crop rotation. So these are the three practices which improve the quality as well as the quantity of the food. So mixed cropping, when two or more crops are grown on the same land simultaneously, it is known as mixed cropping. For example, growing wheat and gram on the same land at the same time is mixed cropping. This practice minimizes the risk of failure of one of the crop and ensure again crop failure due to abnormal weather condition. The second is the intercropping. It is multiple cropping practices involving growing two or more crops in proximity. The most common goal of intercropping is to produce a greater yield on a given piece of land by making use of resources or ecological processes that would otherwise not be utilized by a single crop. And third is the crop rotation. The practice of planting different crops sequentially on the same plot of land to improve soil health, optimize nutrient in soils. So these are the three important cropping pattern. By using this, we can achieve the maximum goal. Crop protection management. Field crops are infested by a large number of weeds, insects, pests, and disease. This is the common problem in India and all over the world. These are the common problem. So they compete for food, space, and light with crops. And if weeds and pests are not controlled, they can damage the crop so much that much of the crop is lost. So whenever you might have noticed that whenever we grow something, there are lots of grasses or unwanted plants, they are called weeds. So manually we remove those in a small kitchen garden. So same happen in the large agriculture field also. There are weeds, there are unwanted plants um, which can create the problem for the growth of the plant, because weeds and the unwanted plants are the fast growing and they cover whole area. So if weeds and pests are not controlled, they can damage the crop so much that most of the crops is lost. Xanthemium, जिसको गुखारू बोलते हैं, xanthium is गुखारू, parthenium is gajar घास, Cyprinus rotundus is motha, which is very common in any kitchen garden. These are some of the weeds which actually create problem to the growing plants. Insects, pests attack the plants and affect the health of the crop and reduce yield. Disease in plant are caused by pathogens such as bacteria, fungi, and viruses. So crop protection management is also important, and the control measure for these control measure from the weeds and the pathogens are weeds, insects, and disease can be controlled by various methods. One of the most commonly used method is the use of pesticides, which include herbicides, insecticides, and fungicide. The issue with the pesticide, which we'll be dealing in other lecture, the issue with the pesticide that the farmers in the panicky in the to lose the crop, they use the more and more pesticide as required. Whatever is required, they use beyond that. The quantity and the concentration is beyond the requirement. So, of course, they are protecting the crops, but that pesticide is damaging the um, crop itself, polluting the crop itself, and the farmers are not realizing. Now, some people are realizing, some farmers are realizing. So, apart from the pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides, there are mechanical removal is another way of the controlling weeds. So mechanical removal is another way, but it is successful in the small field. In the large field, it's a bit difficult to manage. The next is the food grain storage. In India, losses in agriculture products are very high due to storage problem. Storage, we do not have proper storage in India. In India, losses in agriculture products are very high due to storage problem, and carrying the grains or plant products to up to the storage is also another issue. So there are factors responsible for such losses are biotic factor and abiotic factor. Biotic factors are insects, rodent, fungi, mites and bacteria. And abiotic factor are the inappropriate moisture and temperature in the place of storage. So there are two major factors. Biotic means insects, rodents, and abiotic means moisture and temperature. So these factor causes degradation in quality. Abiotic and biotic factor together causes degradation in quality, loss in weight, poor germinability, discoloration of produces leading to poor marketability. When you leave the wheat in the agricultural land, and if there is a rain, the quality, the color of the wheat get changed. Okay, so the market price gets lower, though nutrition value is same, but because of the color, because of the physical appearance of the grain, the farmers gets the low price. So these are the issues. These factors can be controlled by proper treatment and by systematic management of warehouses. So we need more and more warehouses. Every year we are getting the news that so much of crops has been wasted because of different reasons. So that we have to prevent. Animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is the scientific management of animal livestock. Animal-based farming including cattle, goat, sheep, poultry and fish farming. With the increase in human population, demand for milk, eggs and meat is also going up. To meet it, improvement in livestock population is also be needed. Cattle farming. Indian cattle belong to two different species, cows and buffaloes. There are two different kind of cattle, cows and buffalo. We have cow milk and we have buffalo milk. Milk is given importance over the buffalo milk. We all know. So milk producing female are called milching animal, dairy animal, while the ones used for farm labor are called drought animals. So those who are milching are called as the milching animal, and those who are used in the farm labor are called drought animals. Milk production can be increased by increasing the lactation period. That's how the milk production can be increased. So exotic or foreign breeds, for example, Jersey, Brown Swiss, are selected for long lactation period, while local breeds, for example, Red Sindhi, Sahiwal, show, show extremely resistance to disease. Okay. So those cattle, of course, the cattle which are having the long milking period like Jersey, Brown, Swiss are not as nutritious as the milk from the desi cow. The two can be crossbred to get animal with both the desired quality. Experiment is going on, and at some places we are successful also. Balanced feed and control in disease for cattle may improve their performance, leading to high yield animal. So there are lots of scientific research are going on these issues, because these are the we need milk and food grains for the growing population, ever increasing population. Every year we have to make more and more effort to have more and more food grains and more milk products. Milk products. Poultry farming is undertaken to raise domestic fowl or egg production and chicken meats. Therefore, improved poultry breeds are developed and farmed to produce layer for eggs and broilers for meat. So we are still partially successful to meet the need of the meat and the eggs. The cross-breeding program between Indian indigenous, for example, a seal and foreign exotic, for example, Leghorn, breed for variety improvement. So we are doing endemic, indigenous and the exotic species, crossing these two, so that we can have the better and better quality of the product. Poultry fowl suffer from a number of disease caused by virus. If you have a poultry farm, one viral disease will vanish whole population. So these are the small issues, but actually they are very critical. One bird got infected with the virus, the whole cage will be gone, the whole bird will be dead. So poultry fowl suffer from a number of disease caused by virus, bacteria, fungi, parasites, as well as from nutritional deficiency. Many times we have faced the poultry flu, okay, viral disease in the poultry, so we stopped eating eggs and chicken. Not we, but all over world. So time to time there are viral diseases. Because of that, there is a major impact on the poultry farming. Appropriate vaccination can prevent the occurrence of infectious diseases. So these are the measures we can use to improve the quality, and through crossbreed we can we can improve the quality of the food. Fish production. Fish is a cheap source of animal protein for our food. Fish production include the fine true fish as well as shellfish such as prawn and mollusk. Fish are the variety of fishes, and there are two ways of the obtaining the fishes: from natural resources and by fish farming. So we have the government is also encouraging the farmers to make the have the fish farms, and they are doing it. But fish farms are also very sensitive. Just one viral disease, the whole pool, the fishes of the pool is gone. It spreads like anything. So poultry and fish farming are a bit risky, but yes, these are very successful also. Marine fishes. India's marine fisheries resources include 7,500 kilometers of the coastline and the deep seas. Popular marine fishes varieties including pomfret, everybody knows pomfret, uh, mackerel, tuna, sardines, and Bombay duck. So these are the some uh, very nice, very important marine fishes, seafood. The yield are increases by locating large school of fishes in the open sea using satellite and echo sounders. So we among the foods we have fish production, marine fishes, and we also go for the inland fisheries. Capturing fishes is done in inland water bodies, but their yield is not high. Therefore, aquaculture practices are needed to improve their yield, and more intensive fish farming can be done in composite fish culture system. And it composite fish culture system, a combination of 5 or 6 fish species is used in a single fish pool. These species are selected so that they do not compete for food among them, having different type of food habits. So those fish who has been selected for combination, there are 5 and 6 species are being selected for the combination pool forming. In that case, we have to take care that their interest should not clash. They should not compete for the food. They should have the different preference for the food. So this we have to do very tactfully, very careful selection of the fishes for these kinds of farming is important. If we take the fishes whose interests are similar, then they will be competing with each other and they'll be killing to each other. So instead of increasing the population, we will be decreasing the population. Beekeeping is again because honey is important product. Most of the medicine are having the honey, and lots of tibia medicine Unani medicine are using honey, and in our daily needs or need also we are using honey from. We discussed that when a newborn is there in the home, the first thing what we do, instead of the mother milk, we give honey to the. So honey is every home in India is having honey. So honey is widely used, and therefore beekeeping for making honey has become an agriculture enterprises. The government is also promoting these, and under the eco development projects at different level, the government is providing the honeybees boxes, providing the honeybees to the locals, not only for the honey collection, not only for the production of the honey, but as a employment for the people who are living in remote areas and have no employment. So these are the eco development. These honeybees comes under the, in certain areas it comes under the eco development projects also. So under eco development projects, government promote the locals to have the honey boxes and beekeeping. They give the training also. Since beekeeping need low investment, farmers use it as an additional income generation activity. Government also encouraged to have, along with the farming, have the beekeeping. In addition, honey hives are also used for the production of the wax. Not only we are getting the honey, but also the wax we are getting from the huge hives. For increased yield, an Italian bee variety, Apis mellifera, has also been brought in apart from Indian bee species. So there are many this thing we are also doing, encouraging, not only encouraging, but also we are providing, the government is also encouraging, providing the good quality of the honey, as well as um, the honey bees also, honey boxes, honey bees all. So there are many programs from the government is going on, in which they are encouraging the farmers, not only the farmers, but the locals living around the forest and the protected areas, to reduce their dependency, to have them the employment, to have them some income generating scheme. They are encouraging the honey production, beekeeping. So food resources are very, very important, very, very important. In many countries, the food is a severe scarcity of the food is the severe issue. This is a very, very famous picture, very famous. The vulture and the little girl, also known as the struggling girl, is a photograph by Kevin Carter, which first appeared in New York Times on 26 March 1993. It is a photograph of a frail, famine stricken boy, initially believed to be a girl. We thought, by seeing the picture, we thought it's a girl, but actually it's a boy. Initially believed to be a girl, who had collapsed in the foreground while a hooded vulture eyeing him from nearby. He collapsed, and the vulture was waiting for the boy to die so that it can feed on the species, it can prey on the species. The child was reported to be attempting to reach to United Nations Feeding Center about a half miles away in Ayod, Sudan, the new now South Sudan, in March 1993, and to have survived the incident. The picture won the Pulitzer Prize for Feature Photography Award in 1994. But by taking this picture, the Carter felt very, very, he was an emotional photographer. He was feeling guilty. And after 3 or 4 months, Carter took his own life 4 months after winning the prize. So food is a very, very important component for the survival of the, and we should respect the food. We not only grow the food, we should not waste the food, and we should respect whatever we are eating, because this one pictures tell us lots of things to the community, to the human society. There are places where we actually need food. Sudan, the many part of the Africa. There's no food. If food is available, they are not very nutritious. So efforts has to made to not only for the production but also for the quality food and to manage the food, equal distribution of the food, equal opportunity for every people to get the food. So this should be the motto of the conservation. So thank you very much. We discussed about the food, food resources, what are the problems we are facing, and many other, and definitely this picture also, which conveys lots of message to the human being, to the human society. Thank you very much. We'll be meeting in our next lecture for another natural resources, renewable and non-renewable. Thank you.